Hi, this is Daniel DiTuro. You have two options when making homemade pasta: cook it or dry it for later use. You can lay the pasta out on a table covered with a clean cloth, or with a few pieces of wood and simple hand tools, make the pasta drying rack in this video. The equipment and material you'll need to make this rack include 12 feet of 1x2, 10 feet of 3/8 inch rod, and 3 feet of 5/8 inch rod. 1 or 2 sheets of 150 or 220 grit sandpaper, masking tape, wood or white glue, miter box to help make straight cuts, 3/8 and 5/8 inch drill or spade bits, an electric drill or cordless drill. Some optional equipment that will make the job easier are 2-inch clamps and a doweling jig. Beginning with the 1x2, measure 2 pieces 24 inches long for the upper and lower braces. Cut out the upper and lower braces, and then using the 1x2, measure 2 pieces 12 inches long for the rack feet. Cut out the rack feet, and you've completed the pieces made from the 1x2 lumber. Using the 5/8 inch rod, measure 2 pieces 12 to 14 inches long for the vertical support. Cut out the 2 vertical supports, and you'll now have the 2 pieces made with the 5/8 inch rod. Using the 3/8 inch rod, measure 12 pieces 8 to 10 inches long for the pasta drying rods. Cut the 12 rods, and then begin sanding the pieces to remove all the splintered and rough edges. One method is to tape the sandpaper to your work surface, and then rub the edges along the sandpaper to create a 45-degree bevel. Now mark the location for the 5/8 inch holes for the vertical rods. I'm locating the holes 2 inches from the ends and 3/4 of an inch or midway from the edge of the 1x2. I've used masking tape to mark the bit so it drills through the lower support and about 3/4 of the thickness of the upper support. Tape or clamp the upper and lower support pieces together. Because I'm using a spade bit, I'm using a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill a pilot hole through the first piece of wood. I then use the spade bit to drill to the proper depth. Repeat for the second hole, and then trial fit the rod to make sure it passes easily through the first hole and bottoms out in the second hole. The same applies to the lower support and both feet. Next, mark the hole location for the pasta drying rods. If you're using a doweling jig, shim the jig to center the 3/8 inch hole on your marks. Use your 3/8 inch drill bit to drill the holes for the pasta drying rods. Trial fit the 3/8 inch rod into the holes. If the holes are tight, use the bit to open up the holes. If the holes seem loose, coat the interior of the holes with the white glue or wood glue. Sand and clean all parts. You can leave the rack unfinished or finish it using an oil stain or other stain. You can permanently glue the pasta drying rods to the upper brace or leave them unglued for complete disassembly and storage. Thank you for watching.